Hello everybody, my name is Dee, and I'm with Tony&Dees Kitchen, and today I'm going to do a vegan jambalaya. My husband and I changed the way we ate, I guess last part of last year, 2016, so it's been dishes that I've made for 20 years that I'm having to remake in the kitchen with a vegan flair. So this is a vegan dish, but this is vegan jambalaya. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it as much as he has enjoyed it. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so first we're going to start off with your dry ingredients. I'm going to break it down with your dry ingredients, and we'll have different stages to make sure we get everything in. Okay, first we're going to take a teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning. Okay, so after, and I have it here in a little cup. It might make it easier for you, it may not. Second, I have a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Sorry, I'm getting used to this camera here. Okay, and I got this brand from Trader Joe's. That's 1 teaspoon. Next is 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. You can get this from Kroger's, where I got mine is from Kroger, and it's 1 teaspoon of the garlic powder. Next, you're going to have 1 teaspoon of your Italian seasoning, and that's 1 teaspoon. This is a smoked salt. I don't know if you're able to see it. It is Saltworks Durango Hickory Smoked Sea Salt. And I actually got this from Central Market in the area where you take the little scoops and you scoop out the different seasonings. You can go to Central Market and you can ask them about the individual seasoning section, and they should be able to tell you. But this is also 1 teaspoon smoked sea salt. 1 veggie cube. And I got these cubes from Kroger's. They're bouillon cubes, but they're vegetarian or vegan. And we're going to have 1 can of Simple Truth tomato sauce. And 1 can of Simple Truth diced tomatoes. And you can get the Simple Truth brand from Kroger. Okay. Now that's the dry ingredients for the jambalaya mix, the seasoning mix. Rice, I do my rice separate, I don't put them together. We got this from Trader Joe's. It's the brown rice medley. See if you can see that. And this brown rice medley is like a blend of long grain brown rice, black barley, and daikon radish seeds. And you'll have 1 cup of rice to 3 cups of water. Okay? And for time's sake, I already have it in my rice cooker. I've got the 1 cup rice and 3 cups water. And what you want to do is you want to add a pinch or maybe a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of oil. I have a teaspoon of grapeseed oil. Why? Because as the rice cooks, the oil is going to kind of separate the rice, and the salt is going to give it a flavor that's not bland. I know you've had rice that's kind of bland and you're like, why is it bland? Because you didn't put salt in the water. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut my rice cooker on so we can continue putting the ingredients together. Okay, put the lid on and put it on the cook, so it's going to go. Now, for the next stage, I got these, we found out about these vegan sausages, or vegetarian sausages, and we get this brand from Kroger. It is original field roast grained meat company, but it's actually a vegetarian meat. It's a non-meat sausage. Smoked apple sage. And you get it from Kroger. And the links look like this. It's kind of brown and it's got specks in it. Okay. You're going to chop up 4 links. So I've got my 4 links chopped up and I'll put it in a pot later. Okay. We're going to take 3 to 4 cloves. I put 4 cloves of garlic here. And you can either shell the cloves of garlic yourself, or if you're pressed for time like me, I've got the peel garlic from Kroger. I've got 1 white onion, diced. I've got 1 bell pepper, diced. And I've got 4 stalks of celery, chopped up. Now, we're also going to put mushrooms in the dish. Why? Because jambalaya traditionally has shrimp in it. Like I said, the links that we're going to be putting in has a flavor almost like chicken, flavored chicken. The shrimp is going to give a texture to me like shrimp. So we're going to put about a dozen mushrooms in the pan. I got shrimp on the brain, so I apologize. But so what we're going to do is we're going to put some oil in the pan, and I'm going to dice these mushrooms, and I'm going to put them in the pan with the oil, and I'm going to add the sausage. All right, guys. To dice the mushrooms up evenly, you can do this with all of your ingredients. I'm just going to do it with the mushrooms today. I put the mushrooms in my Ninja dicer or food processor. So I have my dozen mushrooms in here. I'm going to put the lid on. Be careful. Okay, once it hears the snap, then I'm going to just pulse it until it is actually cut up the desired size that I want the chunks to be. I don't want them to be too small. I kind of want them to stay a little hearty because they're going to cook down in the skillet, but I want them to be cut up pretty good. All right, here we go. Oh, may have to open it up and stir a little bit. See, I still got some chunks in there. So I'm just going to bring it on around. Put the lid back on. Press, make sure it's locked. Pulse a few more times. One more. Okay, look like that's pretty good. I have my skillet over here, a deep skillet. I have about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. I've heated up the skillet, and now I'm going to add my mushrooms and my sausage links. Let me get my sausage links, put them in here. And let me get a spoon. Okay. Sorry about that, I didn't have my spoon earlier. Okay. And the mushrooms are going to cook down, but they're really going to fill in. You won't feel like something's missing or that your dish is not hearty. It's going to be pretty good. And just lightly stir it around, get everything mixed up. And I have the heat on a medium heat. Just kind of stir it till the mushrooms start cooking down. I'm going to go ahead on and add my onion, my celery, and my bell pepper. So here's one bell pepper. One onion. 4 stalks of celery, and 4 cloves of garlic. I'm going to mix these together, and then once I mix these together, then I'll add my seasonings. It's been simmering here in this pot without the lid for about a good 5 to 7 minutes. You want to continue stirring it. Make sure that the mushrooms don't stick or at the bottom of the pan to burn. If you notice, as you cook, you can kind of see a little bit at the bottom. You can see the juices to where you know it's cooking. You know it's actually doing its thing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add our dry ingredients. Okay, so first I'm going to add my bouillon cube. Okay, and if you notice, I made a little whale in the middle because I'm going to put it right here in the center. And I just kind of break it up a little bit. Kind of put it in here because I want it to go ahead on and melt down. Okay, we're going to add our 1 teaspoon of Old Bay. We're going to add our 1 teaspoon of paprika. Get all of that. Okay. Our 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Our 1 teaspoon of the smoked salt. And our 1 teaspoon of the Italian seasoning flakes. After you do this, then you just kind of combine everything in the center. It's easier for me. This way I don't lose any seasoning on the side and all that stuff when I'm stirring it. Because I'm a lefty. Not saying anything bad about lefties, but I was the only one in my family coming up that was left-handed, so I used to get a little grief about it. But lefties rock. A lot of great people are lefties. Okay. So now if you notice that everything is really cooking down good. So now at the very end, we're going to add our stewed tomatoes and our tomato sauce. Once we add the stewed tomatoes and tomato sauce, we're going to blend it. And we're going to turn our fire down to more of a low heat. And I'm going to add the lid. And we're going to let it simmer. So remember, we're going to blend it. And some of the cooking's already stopped. Just take your time, make sure everything is covered. Okay. So now that everything is covered, what we're going to do now is we're going to add the lid and we're going to let it simmer for about 15-20 minutes. So we're going to cover it, and I'm going to turn the heat down. It's about medium, now it's going to be on a low. Because really all we're doing is we're waiting for the vegetables to go ahead on and cook. The bell peppers cook down pretty good, the onions cook down pretty good, but sometimes it takes a little bit longer for celery. So we're waiting for the celery to cook down. Just want to kind of show you how it's supposed to kind of cook. It's going to be on a medium to low simmer. I'm just going to stir it one last time before I continue to let it go. But as you can see, it's cooking, but it's not really rapid, so it's not going to burn. See the little bubbles? Because all we're doing is, like I said, waiting for the vegetables and the rice. Remember the rice in the rice cooker? We're waiting for that. So we're going to continue to let this go. And before I feel like this is finished, I'm going to do a taste test. If it's not quite seasoned how I want, I use Morton's Nature Seasoning. I've used it, for some years now. It's got good ingredients in it, and it's not really overpowering, but it'll get you right where you want to be, real soft. So it's really nice. So I may add maybe a half a teaspoon or a fourth of a teaspoon, depending on how it tastes. Okay, so now I'm going to taste it and see if the flavor is where I want it to be. Like I said earlier, if it's not, you can add some nature seasoning. I'm going to add half of a teaspoon of nature seasoning if needed. Yeah. I'm going to add this half a teaspoon. It's still a little bland for us. We like ours with a little more kick. So go ahead and add this in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn the heat down and just let the flavor go through. What we're doing now is we're kind of waiting on the rice. This whole process should be about 30, no more than 35 minutes. I'm going to even taste a little bit of the sausage here, which by it not being meat, it should be ready. It's good. Wow. Okay. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to just turn the fire real low, because all I want to do is just basically just let it simmer a little bit. Since I added some seasoning to it, I just want it to barely bubble just a little bit. And once the rice is finished, then we can take this jambalaya part and put it over the rice. So I'm going to cover it and turn the fire down. I've turned my fire down. This is how our jambalaya looks. We like our vegetables softened, but not real mushy. It depends on how you like it. If your family likes your vegetables boiled on the firm side, then you won't have to cook yours as long as I may have cooked mine. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take the rice and put the rice in a bowl and take this jambalaya portion and put it over the rice. So now our jambalaya is cooked and the rice has just finished. So we're going to put the rice in the bowl, and then we're going to take our tomato and seasoning portion and put it over the rice. Okay? Be careful because it's hot. So you see the steam rising. So be real careful. Bring it forth a little bit here. I unplugged it. So I'm just going to stir it up a little bit. Remember I told you the oil was going to help it to separate, so it's separating really good. And so now I'm just going to put it in the bowl. Cover this back up, push it on back. So now with the rice at the bottom of the bowl, what I'm going to do now is just place the other portion right on top. Ooh, smells good. wish you guys could smell this. The tomatoes and the veggie sausage and the bell peppers and garlic. I know many people like to mix everything all together when it cooks, but I find out that to me it cooks much better, or it tastes much better when it's separate, and all you have to do is blend it together. So can you see that? Man, I know the heat is just rising. Ooh, I'm gonna have to get a little bit. Wow, wow, wow. So it is done. It is poured. It's over the rice. It's ready to be tasted. So I'm gonna taste it here. Give me a little piece of sausage. So hot. Yeah. When I was making this in Louisiana, I never thought I'd be making it without meat, but it's good. Oh wow, it was really good. Anthony, come and taste it. Or Tony, come and taste it.
What you call him? Guys, got this boy. This house smelling so good, right? Yeah.
So here's my raw taster right here.
This house smelling so
He
good.
tells me
right
if it
now.
tastes good. He tells me if it don't taste good.
I just smell it, boy.
So,
Smell, boy.
let's see what he
Stepped
says.
into heaven.
As you can see, my baby, he likes hearty meals.
Oh man.
He's not a salad eater, so.
Look at that booger, boy. Look at that, man. Man, you see that right there, man? You see how good? Look at the steam coming off that booger. That rice, man. Look at that. I ain't missing no doggone meat. I ain't missing it at all. Man, it smells so good up in this house, man. Man. Oh.
And as I am going through changing up how I cook the same way for over 20 years, and now I'm having to adapt to a new way of eating, but we're enjoying it. We are enjoying it. And my husband has said before, we want our stuff to taste good. We want our stuff to have some flavor to it. So hopefully your family will enjoy this jambalaya as much as we have enjoyed it. It's just my little twist on a vegan jambalaya. Add whatever you want to it. If you need to take a few little things from it, that's no problem. But enjoy cooking. Don't look at it like you're missing out on something, because it's going to be harder for you to keep it up. But if you start making the meals that you like and just start converting it over to a vegan or vegetarian flair, you will enjoy your food.
Okay. Hey, I'm enjoying it. Y'all, this really is, I'm telling y'all, so many people have this jambalaya recipes that are so difficult, you got to have a rocket science degree to make it. This is very simple. It's just putting the vegetables together. Get your Simple Truth canned tomato paste, Simple Truth canned diced tomatoes. It's a simple recipe, but I'm telling you right now, if it was in a restaurant, guess what? I sure enough pay for it. This booger right here is good.
And it basically in total it takes about an hour and a half. Depending on if you use food processor to chop up everything or you chop it up by hand. The children will love it, and the next day
It didn't take you 30
it's
minutes,
even
about an
better.
hour and a half.
Well, that's true.
Oh, you want to chop everything up?
Everything from start to finish. And the
chop.
children will love it, and the second day the flavor will be in even more. So, I hope you enjoyed this video.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the food. I'm enjoying the fruit of the video. The Bible said, enjoy the fruit of your labels. I'm enjoying the fruit of this video. The fruit is good. Oh, Lord.
So,
Didi, this is good. Girl. I'm freaking. Dang, man.
So, Hopefully your family will enjoy it as much as we have. I pray that you all will be a blessing to your family as I am to my husband.
Yes, she's a blessing.
And hopefully we'll have some more videos to come. All right.
I just about ate this bowl. It's not good. Hey, remember, this is Tony&Dees Kitchen.
Yes.
We love you, and God loves you too. And keep your head up high. Keep striving for the good things in life, the things that make you happy. Push towards those things. Those are the things that you can relate to. Those are the things you need to move towards.
Give me a little bit.
I'm gonna give you a little bit, girl. That's good, bro. You won't tell me to taste it. Tell me to taste it. I'm gonna eat it up.
It's all right. We married. We eat out the same old.
But it's good. It's like that, you know. You're gonna enjoy this, just like we enjoying it. And we're so glad to share this with you.
Yes.
We love you.
Yes.
And we just thank God for you. I know. I'm gonna mess that up. All right. Tony&Dees, we signing off. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.